We're going to the Middle East, not for any news coverage, but for some GeoGuessr tips and tricks, and specifically the United Arab Emirates. I previously done an Oman guide, so now I'm doing a UAE guide. Soon enough, I'll do like a Jordan guide and whatnot. But yeah, it's very important that you know how to distinguish the countries in the Middle East, because if not, your opponent most definitely will know. So let's get into the rounds. Okay, so the UAE is very specific in its region because the Middle Eastern countries, Israel, Lebanon, Jordan, UAE, Qatar, and Oman are the only ones with coverage. Over in the west, you get a Mediterranean vibe, and here in the east, you have an Arabian Peninsula vibe, obviously. Now, if you know you're in the Arabian Peninsula, just based off like the desert and the lack of feeling the Mediterranean, if you don't have the Gen 4 Google collar, you know for 100% you're in the UAE. Like here, we don't have the Gen 4 pickup truck, which Qatar and Oman have all the time. So we instantly know what country we're in just based off of that. Though, the UAE does have modern Gen 4 white pickup truck coverage. It's just not guaranteed. It also has a different car, which I will show. But here, we're going to go over some of the basics right now. For one, the UAE, you pretty much always see curb lines, whether it be black and yellow or black and white. The chevron is black and white. I didn't even know this, because you don't need to know it. Of course, you see Arabic, which instantly makes you know you're in Jordan or one of these zones, or I guess Palestine area. But it's pretty simple to differentiate them. Also, the UAE, you will very rarely have unpaved roads, where in Oman you'll see them, and like Israel and Qatar you'll see them. Jordan's very easy to know to say that it's not, because most of the roads in Jordan are just highways, or you're in a very like Syrian, Egyptian, Western Arabian looking city compared to like the richer area of Qatar, UAE, and Oman. So I'll go over some more of the basics later, but for this region guessing round part, the UAE is this whole country we see here, obviously. 99.99% of the coverage is pretty much above the very southern part of Dubai. The southern part of Dubai that just go all the way across to the Oman border. There's no coverage below that. You only have Dubai, like up here, the mid-desert, and the Far East. And like the western part of the UAE, which I'll say is like the Dubai part, is very flat. Very flat. The biggest elevation you'll see is skyscrapers. The north and the east, that's where you see the mountains, as you can see by this. And if you ever have western mountains, you know you're in this eastern part. So we can know we're in the eastern part, also by the eastern coast. So we know we're going to be somewhere around here. And I did pick the round, so I did know where it was. But based off of that round, you could easily find the 5K being like directly on the coast with the road going west and everything. So yeah, very easy round when you see mountains in the UAE. And then here's the opposite side of the spectrum. Most people don't even need to know GeoGuessr Mez to know where this is, because we're in a desert. We see Arabic is very rich, and we see a ton of skyscrapers. So this will be Dubai, guaranteed. Because like Abu Dhabi, no coverage. Some more basic. So here, of course, we see the black and white not guardrails, road curbs. That's what it's called. But we also have the .ae. We see some yellow plates, though you mainly see those in Oman, but you do see them in the UAE as well. But yeah, palm trees here, you don't really see those in like, well, I guess Saudi Arabia doesn't have any coverage, but yeah, countries like that. I don't need to explain this round, I don't think, so I'm just going to just click in Dubai. If you need me to explain how to guess Dubai, then I don't think I need to do that. Okay, and then here we have Gen 4, but there's no pickup truck, so that obviously tells us it's the UAE. Though it could have pickup truck, mainly just in like Dubai and the cities in the east and whatnot. But there's hills and mountains everywhere. which means we're going to be in the east, and since we're to the west, we know for a fact it's not the north. We have these wooden poles that you see in the UAE. So yeah, I think we have a coast to our east again. This is just another showing the Gen 4 and the hills. So we're probably going to be somewhere down here rather than up here. Okay, and then once again, we have another one where we don't have the pickup truck. We have the yellow outer lines. Yellow outer lines means you're in Southern Africa or the Middle East, or like a very rare like Chile, Turkey, Nepal, and such. But if you see yellow outer lines, just think of Southern Africa and the Middle East, unless you can 100% prove that it's not. The UAE also drives on the right, just like Oman and Qatar, while Jordan drives on. I actually don't remember what side Jordan drives on, but it doesn't matter. So yeah, yellow outer lines, grassy. We have some vegetation and whatnot. We could probably find a flag, honestly, but easy UAE. So this specific location is just some more. I'm not gonna say proof, but just more examples of how to notice the UAE. We have this like European baseline. We have the Arabic. We have we have a city to our west. So we're going to be probably on one of these roads like this. Angle doesn't look right. This road, something like this. And yeah, I found it. And then this location, so just to show that you do see the black and white little pole. Like you see in Peru, Malaysia, Sri Lanka. I think sometimes in Oman as well. But this is mainly for NMPZ, because for most NMPZ UAE rounds, you'll be facing away from the Google car to make it harder to differentiate between like Qatar and Oman, or even like Peru for people. So if you see this, then it's a big clue for the UAE. Okay. And here, it's a very interesting part. So, like I said earlier, 99.9% of the UAE coverage is pretty much Dubai and above. But there are two zones where you do see some other coverage. Down here in the very bottom of the desert, you do see some trekker coverage. Famously, some of it's even on a camel that you can see. But the other bit is on this island, Sir Bania's Island. This island, you do see this coverage with this Google car. You do see this car, or at least a very similar one in like the US Virgin Islands. But if you see this car, then you know you're here. Though also, you could just get around like this. See that it is Northern Hemisphere Gen 3. It very sandy. Because honestly, if I saw this round, I would think Botswana. Because it looks like Botswana. But we're in the Northern Hemisphere, and the road would probably be... It'd probably be different. Because this has more of a Middle Eastern vibe, I guess. The camera quality is also very poor for the UAE standards, but yeah, that's where this island is. Okay, and then here's the last round I'm going to show. One, the camera quality is not very good. It's the old Gen 3, and usually in the old Gen 3, you do see the white car, one that you also see in like old Chile and Peru coverage. I didn't notice it in this video, but if you look back through this video, you'll probably find that car and me just not paying attention to it. Here's the UAE flag, obviously, but here we have big mountains, like huge, very pale mountains to the east, and nothing to the west. This is this northern part, which I think you could just tell by the map. Pretty big city-type areas with huge mountains east, and then coast to the west. But you can see, obviously, if you're like on the very western part of these mountains, look somewhat similar, but the mountains won't be as pale and light. And up here, I'm pretty sure you only have this old Gen 3. Yep, so you will see that there. And the Oman part there looks very similar. Okay, so that's the UAE tips and tricks video. This video was on pretty short notice. It's very important to know if you don't. If you do know the UAE just like somewhat well, this video probably isn't the most helpful, but you do learn some region guessing things and some NPZ tips. And if you didn't know the UAE, then this is crucial because you don't want to be going Jordan or Tunisia on the UAE. So that's the end of this video, and I will see y'all next week.